In a campaign rich with slogans and simple lines, there's no simpler idea than they made the problem, we'll fix it.
The policy that we're handing out today is about dealing with the legacy backlog of Labor's border failure over the last 5-6 years. Over 50,000 people have turned up. Around 15,000 of those Labor have given permanent visas to already. There are 30,000 people now who are still in that system and are waiting a decision that they will get on the other side of the election.
The 30,000 people currently here who have come illegally by boat, awaiting assessment, won't get permanent residency. They will get temporary protection visas.
What it means for them is that they remain in indefinite limbo. They cannot set up roots in Australia. They cannot have any certainty about their future, notwithstanding that most of them will likely be found to be genuine refugees.
Tony Abbott also tipped his hat to John Howard's defining campaign pitch of 13 years ago.
But we will decide who comes to this country and the circumstances in which they come.
This is our country, and we determine who comes here.
He should really just get on board with our policy and actually look at working in a regional way to make sure that there is no...
It depends what day of the week it is, what policy you guys have. I mean, you have had...
That's not the case, what?
Possible. I mean, in the last election, you promised the East Timor solution, a regional solution. What happened to that? You promised
we have now implemented the PNG policy. No more slogans. We've implemented detention on PNG. We've signed it with the Prime Minister of PNG.
We had policies that worked under the Howard government. Kevin Rudd removed them, offshore processing, turning boats around where it's safe to do so, and particularly temporary protection visas.
If you're found to be a refugee, that means you're assessed as someone who's fled serious human rights violations, torture or death. And to say to those people, we'll protect you, but we'll protect you only temporarily, I think is a very cruel policy.
How cruel generally now are the two major parties in their asylum approach when considered by international standards?
Tremendously cruel. I mean, I'm not aware of other countries in the world that effectively hand pass their responsibility for people who come here seeking our protection to small developing countries that have their hands full with their own domestic challenges.
Cruel? Well, as though to thumb his nose at refugee advocates, Mr Abbott found another C word to describe his Immigration General Scott Morrison.
He's also shown a touch of compassion, which you have to show when you are dealing with an issue as sensitive as this.
Such is our asylum debate. The possibility that the 30,000 asylum seekers here might be looked after is itself a political weak point to be attacked.
Those 30,000 people will be the most enthusiastic about a Labor victory because those 30,000 individuals will have the opportunity of a permanent visa under Kevin Rudd that they will not have under an Abbott-led coalition government.
And Tony Abbott has agreed to a boat's benchmark of sorts if he wins government. He says when Australia is down to 3 a year, he'll have succeeded.
That's my confidence.
The way it was, he says, under the great days of John Howard.